So here we are at day one of Smart Factory Expo here at Digital Manufacturing Week, and we've got another interviewee along with us. We have Ewan Lloyd-Baker from Seismic. Ewan, it's a pleasure to have you with us this afternoon. Can I just ask, first of all, how are you enjoying the show so far?
Yeah, it's been brilliant. Very busy day. Great to be out and about. I was here a few years ago, so it's good to be back in Liverpool. A real sort of buzz and sort of positive vibe of things that are going on. I think lots of really quality leads as well, which is great, and lots of businesses, especially on Innovation Alley, which is good to see as well.
Oh, fantastic. It's good to hear. Just start us off, Ewan, by giving us a little bit of background about Seismic Venture Partners, if you will.
Yeah, well, the Seismic Succession Fund, we set it up. We're a family-owned and family-led investment firm, and we've set up the Succession Fund because we've identified, particularly sort of in the manufacturing and engineering space, lots of businesses out there where the business owners might be in their sort of maybe 60s, 70s, 80s, looking to exit, looking to retire, want to keep the name of the business that they've often worked, in 20, 30, 40 plus years, and sort of treat it almost as though it's their baby, and want to keep the name above the door, look after their people. And actually the sort of exit options for them are very limited. So what we're trying to do is basically keep, those assets owned here in the UK, because the underlying belief in that is if you own and invest in the UK, that's where the jobs will stay. That's where the future growth for apprentices, for graduates, and ultimately for the UK economy and UK PLC will benefit from that.
And why is it needed at this time, do you think, the Succession Fund?
Well, I think often, there's a limited range of choices sometimes for some of these business owners. There's a lot of, let's say, negative publicity around private equity. Some of these businesses are probably too small to take to the public markets. They don't want to sell necessarily to trade buyers because they might see, the business closed down or and then the people made redundant and the assets sort of move overseas. So that sort of, long-term, sort of almost intergenerational hold, where we're almost trying to create, the next generation of the UK equivalent of the Mittelstand, and doing that via the Succession Fund, I think is really important.
So what's the benefit for people looking to exit or to sell their businesses?
Well, I think ultimately it's that you're handing over the baton of the business to somebody who has got experience of ultimately buying, turning around, running, developing, growing two of the oldest engineering companies in the UK, Hayward Tyler, over 200 years old, Peter Brotherhood, over 150 years old, and somebody who's passionate about UK manufacturing. I'm clearly, touch wood, as long as my health stays good here for the long term.
Fantastic. What's the benefit for investors? You may have touched on it just a moment ago, but what's the benefit for investors in all of this?
Well, what we're looking to do is, we're very much hands-on. So this is, rolling up our shirt sleeves and getting sort of stuck into the sort of business operations, business improvement, business enhancement. So from an investor perspective, it's a sort of way of not only investing in something that they can believe in, i.e. UK manufacturing, but, we're also looking to generate sort of, 25% sort of annualized returns, doubling your money over a 3-year period, tripling it over a 5-year period, but doing that through sort of business growth and business improvement, rather than having to be forced into a tide sale of a business. So it's that long-term hold, but also that combination of actually, investing for a wider sort of social good and knowing that you're supporting UK manufacturing at the same time.
And how big are your aims in all of this?
Well, they say never boil the ocean, so sort of one step or one spoon at a time, so to speak. So we made our first acquisition back in late June, the iCubed Group, which is bringing together businesses with about 100 years worth of combined experience in sort of design, test, manufacture, automation, production solutions. And, that's an example of sort of, let's say, where the names are staying the same above the door, but there are bigger opportunities now as part of the wider group. And I'd like to think, that was the first of what could become, numerous dozens of sort of businesses that ultimately could sit under the Succession Fund over the next 5 or 10 years.
And I'll draw you on a quite more general question. And it's the issue of sustainability, obviously such a big issue for manufacturers, for all types of businesses at the moment. And we're here during Digital Manufacturing Week, obviously learning about the benefits of digital. When it comes to sustainability, how do you think that issue can be helped? How do you think sustainable growth could be impacted through digitalization?
I think, one of the key elements of sustainability is to be, let's say, a good corporate guardian. If my view on these are, if we're buying a business, and I'm looking at holding that business for 10, 15, 20 plus years, then I'm going to do the right thing by the business, and the investment decisions that I make are going to be the right thing by the employees of that business. And ultimately, the way to, attract and retain employees is to have a wider social purpose that very much chimes with what's going on. Not just because it happens to be, at the time of COP26, but actually because it's fundamental to the future of not just us, but, our kids, and ultimately our grandkids as well. So there's a higher purpose in that regard, which is absolutely critical at the time. And I think business leaders and business owners and ultimately business full stop, buys into that and knows that it's a critical part of what we're trying to do.
Well, Ewan, it's been great to get your thoughts this afternoon here at Smart Factory Expo. Just finally, are you looking forward to what remains of the event?
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this evening, celebration of the top 100, because I think it's really important that we recognise, what ultimately the guys and the girls do, within the UK manufacturing space. And then obviously tomorrow more of the same, hopefully, in terms of the sort of the vibe, in terms of the enthusiasm and activity, and then tomorrow night with the awards dinner. So great celebration all round for UK manufacturing.
Good man. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to get your thoughts. Thank you very much, Ewan.
Thank you very much.